Good morning, everybody. Just want to send the YouTube link to the Discord quick. How's everybody doing this morning? Morning, Retta, morning, Mans. What's up, Corpse? What's up, Adolf? Alright, guys, so let's get started. Here on gold, we can see that we are comfortably below that range now. Yesterday we had that wick fill as discussed, and you know, after coming out of a range like that on the daily, you generally will see some very nice one-sided movement. Yesterday's candle closed very strong bearish. I'm anticipating today's candle to also continue moving down. Looks like on the daily time frame here we've got range down to about 1903, 1904. So I'd like us to come down into that area. So through Asian session we formed new lows here at 1910, and then we've started to pull back. On the 4 hour you can see that we actually closed bullish. So, you know, I'm putting quite a lot of focus on the 4 hour coming into these sessions, and when the 4 hour and daily are not lining up, it's not always the greatest. But what we can also do here is, of course, zoom into the different time frames, and on the hourly here you will see that we pulled back into this resistance at 1916. Now I saw this 30-minute bearish candle closure at this level, and I thought, okay, it looks good, like we're forming resistance there, or we are respecting that resistance. But I did actually want to see the hourly candle closing bearish here. That hourly candle will just be a stronger confirmation that we are respecting that level. Also very early into the new 4 hour, and like I say, previous 4 hour was actually bullish. Overall, we are very bearish here. I wouldn't be looking for the buys, even if we break above this resistance. We could then maybe see some pullbacks to 1920, which I'll just look for resistance to form in that area and look for those sells. So just sticking to the trend here, not trying to get clever and look for buys. So like I say, if we do end up getting deeper pullbacks to 1920, that's fine. I'll just look for the same story, look for a resistance to form there, and look for us to come back down to 1910. But it looks like we are respecting this level at 1916.5. So you can see there I've said that if we hold that resistance level, I'll be looking for the sells. Other than that, if we are breaking below 1910, I love seeing candles close below level and then looking for the sells on the next candle. But what I've seen lately is that, especially pre-London, you're not having the volume when you're closing below a level, and you often will get a pullback. So I'll only really be taking more aggressive sells below 1910 after London open, maybe at like 9:30. But ideally I would still like to see a break and retest kind of setup if I'm looking for sells below 1910. But ideally I would like to be getting in on this pullback. So just waiting for the hourly candle to close here. On GJ we've got news in 5 minutes, pound retail sales. So I will just wait for that there on the pound. Other than that, you do have some more news later in the afternoon, later in the morning, sorry, at 10:30. Personally, I think I'll stay away from GJ this morning. I think gold is trending nicely, very clean. In this pullback, pre-London, you know, you've basically left clean candles come back down to 1910. So we're just going to wait for this hourly candle to close, and we should be ready to rock. But yes, GJ overall very bullish. You can see what I've got marked up here. So we had this minor resistance at 182, although you can see to the left it was actually quite a solid level. So I had bars marked up above there. Looks like we've already broken above there. So you might want to maybe see a retest of that level to continue moving up. But just be aware of that news coming out in 3 minutes. And if that news is good, obviously that supports the idea of the bars here on GJ. But if it's bad, maybe we get this pullback, you know, maybe even into 181.2, which at that point I would still be looking for the bars. I think any sells here will be very short term, and I wouldn't want to get clever and chase those sells. I would rather be patient and wait for the bars to be setting up. Two and a half minutes, gold is looking very nice here. Hey, Hectorino, all good, thanks, and you? Just waiting for this candle to close, so I don't have a sell stop in just yet. but it's looking like 1915.15. So just gonna get that topped out so long. Stop loss will be above the previous hourly highs. Get out of here. So stop loss will be about 32 pips at 1918.4, let's call it. Okay, so we closed there and moved straight down. So let's adjust this now. Sorry, I just typed this out like I said beforehand. So we're getting a bit of a top wick here if we re-break this low. So 1914.75. So I'll stop 1914.75. On my broker, it's about a pip lower. So 1914.65 here on my broker. Stop loss, like I say, at 1918.4. So we've got a very nice top wick here on the new hourly candle. If we break previous hourly highs, we could see that further pullback to 1920, and at that point I will delete the sell stop and I will just be waiting. But this looks nice. Waited for that hourly to close to give that nice confirmation. We formed a bottom wick immediately as we open there, and then we've now formed that top wick. So put the sell stop on the break of that current candle low, and let's see what happens. Yesterday on DXY, spoke about this 102 level. Come on. It's like just that one tab won't load. So DXY, I was speaking about this 102 level yesterday, and it looks like we had a very nice reaction there. You can see we've got quite a strong dollar at the moment. So you can see with this stronger dollar, we've had that downside breakout of that higher time frame range, and now we are just trending bearish here on gold. So very nice that we've had a pullback coming into the session and had this strong hourly candle confirmation now. 1908, what do you think? What's at 1908? Is that... Tell me what time frame you're looking at. Hourly flipping back bearish here. OH. It's going to be somewhere in that wick. Yeah, not a bad shout. I'm looking to target these lows at 1910, and I'll secure the majority of my position there. And then I will be having runners, but if I'm going to have runners, I may as well target something a little bit more generous, like 1905. I'm seeing a level on the daily around 1904, 1903.5 or so. But 1905, just a nice round psychological number, just above that level. So I'm going to look to target 1905. I may even leave a small runner to 1900. Stops are about 35 pips, 36 pips. Let's see the GJ news, the pound news. Good news there for the pound. It's still going to be tough in the middle of this range. I would still maybe wait for that pullback to 18, sorry, I'm thinking cold here, 182, or even back to the support here at 181.7. I just think if you want to be taking buys in this range, you may need to see that pullback. Otherwise, just wait for the breaks above 182.5. Even if the 15-minute candle closes bullish, I think this idea is still valid. Unless we're closing like a very strong bullish candle in 3 minutes or back above this resistance. But yeah, on the hourly, this is clean. Yeah, I see you killing it there, Nasdaq Mafia. Yeah, I've been taking some trades at NYSE. I don't really trade New York, but NYSE, like, just because it's such a small time window, it's really nice. I can just pop in and then get a position. That's kind of what's been paying my bills lately. London hasn't really been providing the goods. What's up, Fred? How are you doing this morning? Rate the Young Thug album First Gunner. Has Young Thug released an album? I didn't even know he released an album. Thought he was in prison.
So
Business is business. This looks good. Nah, just looking at it, it looks good, but I haven't listened to it. I'm downloading it right now. Best believe. I'm a big fan of Gunna, but I don't know. This recent album didn't really like do it for me. There are a couple of songs that bang, but yeah, I still listen to like old school Gunna. What's up, Jared? You good? Yo, I don't know if it's your connection or what, but you're cutting out there a bit.
I don't know that. No, no issues. The internet is sucky this morning. I don't know why. Let's see. I'm not too sure why my internet's so shit this morning.
Yeah, Cops, I see the logic behind the trade. I definitely do. I think it was on the break of that 30-minute low. Like I say, just one thing I'm looking at just the 4 hour as well. I really like to see the 4 hour and daily lining up coming into the session, where here it's not. But what is nice about this scenario is we have had a nice pullback to a logical level. But I still think in that scenario where, you know, there is quite strong momentum to the upside here, you can see these big bullish candles. You want to make sure that that bullish momentum is really like dead. So your 15 in this scenario and even the 30 is not really going to give the strongest confirmation. In fact, you might even find that you might see something like this. Maybe this 4 hour continues to move up. Let's say something like this. Just trying to articulate my thoughts here. But you may find that, you know, this 4 hour is bullish. And then the next 4 hour, you might find is bearish. 11 to 3, yeah. And then you'll see that will close coming into NYSE. And then NYSE, you get that move down to 1910, maybe even further. Also depends on the news today. I think my whole like perception of things has really changed lately. Are you a crip? Why would you say that? So on the 15-minute here, you can see we formed support, even broke previous 15-minute highs. I think this is still valid on the hourly, but let's see how the 30-minute candle closes. If we're closing above 1916.5, makes sense to possibly even continue up to 1920. And then at that point, I will delete my sell stop and probably just wait for London Open. Like I was just explaining with this move up here, so this is, you know, for now, just a pullback. Overall, gold is very bearish here. But you want to have the right confirmations to get back into the sells here. So, you know, we formed resistance, we had that bearish hourly candle. But if we're closing bullish here on the new 30, that shows that there's still some momentum here to the upside. We could pull back further to 1920. And kind of just what I was explaining with the 4 hour just now. If you get that bearish 4 hour coming into NYSE, and this will also depend on the news today, because if PMI numbers are good, then it's really plain sailing to the downside on gold. But if we just had to ignore this news, and let's say you got that bearish 4 hour, let's say you got a retest of 1920, and not this 4 hour, this 4 hour can close bullish, but the next one, if the next one closes bearish, by the end of or by like London close, you'll be back at 1910. Still respecting this 16.6, 16.5 level. It's a nice top wick for the hourly candle there. You are respecting previous 30-minute highs as well. But let's see how the 30-minute candle closes. Still got the sell stops in for now. Flipping back bearish on the 30 with 5 minutes to go. Lots of momentum here in this candle. I think once we break these lows, we should get a nice push. Oh shit. Sound like a grandpa chip. I can respect that, you know. Some days it's like I also listen to it and I'm like, this is just noise. But other days it just hits different, you know. Each to their own. Gerard. Hey, look at Actorino with the South African slang. How's it? Hey, Gerard. With 30 minutes to go until London Open, I'm thinking to just wait. Because this candle looks like it'll close bullish here. I'll wait until the candle closes. But yeah, if we're closing bullish on the 30 or let's say this 15, I will delete these sell stops. You know, right now this is looking like a support to possibly continue moving up. I'm not interested in the buys. I can see us moving up here up to 1920, but I'm not interested. We're extremely bearish here on gold. I don't want to get clever. My plan is to take sells here today. I haven't even planned out for potential buys. If I were to take potential buys, I would probably need a break and retest of this resistance right here. But yeah, like I said, I don't want to get clever. This looks like just a pullback for us to continue moving back down. We've got nice clean traffic down to the lows here. I really like the idea of sells. But need to just get the correct confirmations here. Gold market has been very slow lately in London. It has been very slow. Pre-London, London volume has just been dead. Seems like if you are getting moves in and around this session, it's like after Asian close. Or pre-New York. Alrighty. So guys, I'm going to delete my sell stops here. On the 30-minute, we've arguably formed a support. If we do break those lows, hey, it makes sense to fill this clean traffic with volume. But you've also got 30 minutes until London Open. I'm just going to stay out and stay patient. If you like the idea, obviously at the end of the day, it's your own trade. I don't mind sitting out. Hourly still looks super clean on gold. Can't deny that. But we'll see what happens at London Open. If we can just hang around this area, we might still get another retest of this resistance at the Open. The setup is there, just the timing for me. Did anyone take the sells? Just be careful as you move into this area. You may not have enough volume to break through there now before London Open. Would you move stop loss to previous 1 hour high? I'm not in the trade, so can't say. My stop would have been the previous 1 hour high anyway. Corpse are still in move stop loss to 1916. Corpse, I would rather you in the trade. I would rather accept the risk. Either close the trade if you're not comfortable, or leave your stop where it was, because that stop doesn't make sense. So leave your stop loss above the highs here, or maybe above the current hourly, so above the previous 30. Just put your stop loss at a logical level. Don't put it so tight. I don't know, maybe you've got it above this current hourly. Current 30-minute candle. Maybe that makes sense. Not a bad shout. But I'm just saying, in that situation, I'm not too sure if you placed your stop there for a reason, or if you just wanted to have a very small stop to lower the risk. But yeah, one thing I can say is just accept the risk when you're in the trade. Because just for everybody else, the guy I'm speaking to is actually in the trade from much earlier, a little bit higher up actually. So, he's already in this position. And I'm just saying, when you're in a trade, accept the risk. Have a safer stop loss, because to have a small stop loss and risk being tapped out for a small loss, rather than just giving it room to run, I don't think you've accepted the risk. And at that point, you may as well just close the trade. But I don't think that's a bad shot above this current candle. You don't want to see this candle flip bullish. I still think it would be safer above the highs. But yeah, maybe a good shot to just manage the risk coming into London Open. Yes. Jared, what's going on there?
Sorry, bro, I can't mute or else stay unmuted, so I just had to go out quickly. I'm back now.
Sounds like you're breaking the house down.
Sorry about this. Yeah, if I mute, then I can't unmute myself, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Don't you have a mute button on your mouth?
Nah.
I went to do fasted cardio this morning and there was a Ferrari in the parking lot. Thought it was quite motivational. CGJ, why not taking... Sorry, just reading the chat here. Why not taking bars on GG on 15 minutes? No, I'd wait for London Open personally. That's just the way I approach GJ. Setup doesn't look bad, makes sense. I even had this draw now to get that pullback into 182, which you were just shy of, but you formed support on the 15. Setup makes sense. If that's your trade, that's perfect. Doesn't look bad here, but it's not my trade. That's why I'm not taking it. Doesn't fit my plan or my setup. Well, setup maybe, but doesn't fit my plan. I would wait for London Open on GJ. And if if you're not catching this move, you can still wait for possible deeper pullbacks. If you don't get the deeper pullbacks, you've got nice easy buys above 182,500. Not bad, nothing wrong with the trade. What's up, Jared?
So I was saying to Koki that with the cells that he's in, what could potentially be a plan is to put this tighter stop loss coming into London Open. So the stop being there at 1916, and it's currently above the current 30 minutes. So if he does flip, if this kind of does flip bullish, he's out of the position, but then he's only risking 7 or 8 pips there to potentially drive before London Open. And then he's got very small risk coming into London Open, being in more cells. And then it gives him the ability to try again at London Open if the setup's still there. If he does get taken off prematurely.
Yeah, no, I understand. I'm in the cells. Would you recommend I close before London Open? Look, I mean, as long as you're closing bearish on this hourly, you look pretty good here. I would say if you're in the trade, there's a reason you took it, whether it was from listening to me or whether you liked the setup or whatever it was. But you took the trade. I would accept the risk of the trade. If you want to get out, get out. That's your decision. Setup wise, it still looks good. London Open could possibly give a pullback, but if you're closing bearish on this hourly, I don't see us breaking these highs right here. Well, I think there's a very low probability. If I were in, I would probably just accept the risk and hold it. You've got such nice clean traffic here, down to 1910. So what I'm looking at now, obviously I've missed this sell here. So I deleted my sell stops with that 30-minute closing bullish and 30 minutes to go till London Open. Setup was still there, but like I said, I'm happy to sit out. It's a Friday. I'm not in a rush here. So far, this is looking like a nice clean move. If I do want to get involved, it's a bit tough because we're in the middle of this range now. I may need to see if we do get a pullback. I'll see how price is setting up, but I think it's going to be tough. I think at this point, the safest bet is probably waiting for a break of 1910. See if we can get like a break and retest, or like a setup, something like this on a 15 minute. So let's say we close below. Next 15 closes like a weak bullish candle. You know, I could take a setup like that below 1910. So let's see what happens. It's quite some time, 15 minutes until London Open. So guys in the sells, right now you're getting a nice push. Just see how that next 15 minute plays out. Also just be aware of this zone here on the 4 hour around 1914. Also got quite a lot of PMI stuff. All the way until Asian close. Might be a little bit of a messy session with some of this news. Morning, Mr. Kutsia. Kopke, I must say though, very nice trade idea. I mean, that was like a tiny nuance that I would, you know, that was just something that I was personally waiting for. But I think on the 30-minute, you know, it did look very good. And look, it's playing out. I mean, there's nothing wrong with the setup you took or the timing. I think that is just one thing I would suggest is, you know, if your previous 4 hour or your previous hourly was a very strong bullish candle, don't get too hasty with the sells on the first sign of a bearish candle. So, for instance, like what I said that I was waiting for was the hourly to close bearish, because that hourly candle is going to give you a much stronger confirmation. Because this hourly, very strong bullish, you know, you often get a setup where the hourly is very strong bullish, and then that next hourly opens up, you get that weak bearish candle, but you've still got that bullish momentum, and the next 30 will just continue to drive. I know you weren't in on that 30, but you know, just I think you've got the idea there. But still very solid, you know, had that pullback into this resistance. Gold is nice and bearish. I mean, it's the exact same trade that I was wanting here this morning. So, I mean, that's pretty much what I was seeing. I think that was solid. GJ moving up nicely. Just careful coming into London Open here on GJ. At least you had that good pound news. But GJ is tricky when it comes to London Open. Often get those whipsaws. I'll be honest, I wanted these cells off of that resistance. It was a bit of a tricky one with the 30 minutes still London open. But I think just seeing this play out now, I don't want to feel forced to, like, I need to be a part of it. My analysis was on point and everything. Unfortunately, I didn't get into the trade, but there's no need for me to feel like I should be a part of it. The market's still going to be moving for the rest of the day for next week. So I don't know if I'm going to take anything here, but I'm going to wait until London Open, see what happens. And then for the guys and the sells, we'll see about maybe just management there. But yeah, Friday, this is so far a very nice clean move. Wouldn't want to chase anything here. So yeah, all I'm saying is that I don't know if I'm going to take a trade now after seeing this. That looks like the setup here. The setup for the morning. If you got it, you got it. With the GJPYs, I'd maybe secure partials or at least go break even as you move up into these highs before London Open. But that's looking beautiful. We took that for a read. Nice trade. I think we should do that thing today where we make a prediction where the weekly candle will close. I don't think we'll do a giveaway or anything, but just for fun. I think the one time we did the prediction where the weekly candle would close and invited someone to NFP. But I mean, now you can just sign up to the free trial for the Patreon anyway, There's the link there in the chat. But let's make a prediction. I'll think about it. Maybe we'll do like a small giveaway or something. So I think that gold, let's see. I think it will depend on the news. I'm gonna just say 1910. No, can't be. Yeah, I'm gonna say 1905. 1885. Jesus Christ. Jared, he's smoking. I say 1905. 1927. Am I right saying that those numbers look good for PMI? Well, they're forecasting slightly better than previous there for manufacturing, and worse there for the services. I would just say see how it comes out. You don't want to say that it's looking like it'll come out good or looking like it'll come out bad. I mean, the forecast is essentially mixed. But the other thing is, with these numbers, something that's also interesting is if you are above 50, that is good. So even though, you know, if this comes out as forecasted, it's still coming out better than previous, but it's still below 50. Although just keep in mind, if it comes out as forecasted, it will have a lower impact, because these numbers should be just about priced in. Yeah, I'd rather just see how the numbers come out. So tell yourself, okay, if both of these numbers are good, if both of these numbers are higher than the forecast and the previous, then it's going to be very clean gold sales. If both of these numbers are worse than both forecast and previous, you know that, okay, then you'll see some dollar weakness most probably. Maybe you could see some profit taking from these lows here on gold to end the week and get that pullback. Overall, gold is very bearish here, so just be aware with the buys. But if it's mixed, so if one is good, one is bad, just be careful, you know. You may just see some whipsaws. Wait for price to settle down and for price to clear up. My internet just dropped off. Oh, fuck. Chat, I don't know if you can hear me, but I think my Wi-Fi has gone down. Hey, can everybody hear me? Testing, testing, can you hear me? Okay, cool. Yeah, Sorry guys, my internet is really not playing along here today. Okay, so I think before I continue, I'm gonna cut my losses here just with the fact that my internet is not playing along today. So London Open here, you've closed nice and bearish. If you did take those sells, you're looking good here. I would probably hold if I were in the position. Maybe manage as you break those lows. You look good to move down to 1910, but you are at quite a tricky area. This level here on the 4 hour. So just be careful of that. Yeah, gold in London session lately hasn't really had like crazy volume. So it might be tough to continue moving all the way down to 1910 here. You might get a pullback now at the open off of this level. So just be careful of that. Maybe secure partials, go break even, leave a runner. Other than that, I mean, right now you're just in a range. Obviously looking to move down to the range, if not down to the bottom of the range, if you are in the sells. But I think at this point, safest trades are probably below 1910. Otherwise, if we actually end up moving back up, breaking 1916, I still wouldn't be really interested in buys. For later in the day, I would like to maybe see a retest of 1920. Also, still to come back down. That might depend on the news. So just keep an eye on that PMI. Like I say, if it's mixed, don't get caught chasing trades today, late afternoon on a Friday. Take it easy, guys. All the best. Thank you for joining today. Sorry about the internet connection. Seems to be fine now, but honestly, I'm not seeing anything at the moment. You know, we're basically in the middle of this range. So take it easy. Thank you guys so much for joining. See you next week. Cheers. Have a good one. Safe trading. Have a good weekend.